Hi all, Long Lance here. As you can see, the BF 10, oh, I keep saying 109, 110, the sexy version. No, I love the 109 too. As you can see, I've done a lot of work. I had a video doing the spraying of the underside and top, but it was just a bit boring, and I was getting frustrated with my airbrush because I hadn't my pins tinned correctly, and to be honest with you, I just didn't want to put it up. Just because there wasn't a lot of chat, and so it would have been quite boring for you. So I'm going to talk you through what I've done. Now, at the moment, some paint is still wet. I just went back to do some touch-ups. That's why some areas are masked with blue tack and tammy tape. I know some people, there is like, well, I wouldn't call it a miss because that seems a bit kind of extreme, but there is like a conception that, and I'll just comment on this quickly, that blue tack leaves like an oil residue, and like many other modelers have said, I've never come across that yet. So blue tack, a lot of people prefer white tack. They're both pretty much the same thing. There's meant to be an oil in blue tack that's meant to leave a residue. I've not come across it yet. I just use, and this was like cheap blue tack from a discount shop or a pound shop. It's like €1. And so like blue tack for the most part does not damage your finish. Like it's still going to leave like the gunk, actually, as in like the blue tack itself will leave residue of itself as you pull it away if you push it down too hard, but so will white tack. You know what I mean? So that's just something just in case you're a bit unsure about using it. It should not damage. Basically, I can only speak for my own builds, and it's never damaged any of my stuff. Okay, so as you can see, I've blue tacked off certain areas, and what I'm doing, I'm just going back in with model color 70961 sky blue, just to do some touch-ups. Then I have to come back in. This colour did spray quite well, actually. I was talking to Carlos Mendez when I was spraying. We were chatting on Skype, and thanks, mate, for putting up with the compressor going. Like, you know, I know you were saying it wasn't a problem, but I was kind of conscious that it might become a bit irritable for you listening to it going every 2 minutes. But thanks as always. You're a top rate guy. So we're going to handle this model without smudging paint. So as you can see, hang on. So here's the colour I used for the upper side. It's really warm sand yellow. It seems a little bit too bright, but I actually really like. I think it draws a lot of attention to the model. You can see some of the pre-shading on the wings coming through. Now I know the camera's been a bit washed out by the light intensity, but I'll reset the camera in maybe the next video when we're doing the decals or deckling, and we should see it. Sprayed on the white band for the markings. The white was very difficult to get right. It kept clogging my airbrush, both model air and model colour. So I kind of went back, had to do a bit of hand painting. The Humbrol acrylic sprayed very well. I'm just going to put this down because I'm getting a bit worried I might drop it. Yes, the Humbrol acrylic sprayed very, very nicely. A little bit of tinning was required, of course. UMP Tinner did a great job tinning it. It does dry on your needle a little bit too quickly, but also it's very wintry here, so the humidity is going to be quite low. So that's obviously to do with the temperature in this room. So, you know, just take time, like, you know, have a bit of a cotton bud or a bit of tissue or something just to gently remove the build-up from your needle, and you should be good. So yeah, it sprayed quite nicely. The model air sprayed very nicely to cool. Sprayed very well as well. So didn't have much problems there. Just took time to tin it down and build up in consecutive layers. Unfortunately, I lost a lot of the pre-shading on the underside. I think I went in just a bit too heavy. Maybe I wasn't tinned correctly, but as in like I my paint just a little bit too thick, but that can be fine. I can. The thing about pre-shading is You can do a post as well and come back in with a darker colour. I'm probably not going to risk doing that. I'd be a bit worried. But I'm going to do some panel fade on both upper and lower surfaces, which I know actually is a form of post shading in a way, because you're leaving the edges in a darker colour. So I'll use that just to help bring out that kind of tonal difference. And also I'm going to be putting a wash over this anyway. I'm going to be using a lovely oil wash, which is Shadow Brown from Octolong. The MIG oils, fabulous. Had that in my stash for the last 6 years and it's still going strong. Like, I bought this 6 years ago and I still got lots and lots of it. So this is the colour I use in almost every build, my Shadow Brown. So I'm going to put a wash of that into the panel lines, let it set for a little while after I put the decals and seal the decals in, and then we'll take it from there. I sprayed the cowlings and the rudders in Citadel's Avalanche Sunset. But when I put the satin varnish, it became almost like a mustard, and it's a little bit too dark. And some of my paint actually chipped off from the masking. So I'm actually going to go back and use like a really light. I want it to stand out, so I'm either going to use Vallejo model color flat yellow. That should stand out much better, and also because of the darker yellow I have a nice base coat for it to take, so I'll do that. I'll do the masking for that once, my little touch-ups here and there, because I had a little bit of bleed through from the upper surfaces down into the lower, so around the landing bay areas, so I just had to touch that up. That's really, yeah, I didn't find much. I did make I broke an element. I broke this off, the little antenna, but I'm going to remake that as in I had to cut off the parts because I didn't know where the piece was, which, like an idiot, I didn't look properly. But what I'll do is I'm actually going to use some lead wire that I have, 0.5 mil, and I'm just going to loop it, and I'll put that in at the very end because I don't want to snap it again. I also am considering, because I know there's going to be these little antennas running back along the underside. I'm a little bit hesitant to add them because knowing me, I'll forget they're there and snap them off. I did consider putting them in. I've yet to put the drop tanks in. They're really cool drop tanks, and two, I think they're 500 pounders bombs. I also made a bit of a mistake by adding this. I think this is like a radar, or actually I don't know what that is. Does anyone, well, I know there's going to be some Luftwaffe boffins. What is this? This little pod here. Is this a communications array or something like that? Well, I got a bit mixed up. I was meant to be making this one. You notice it doesn't have it, but I added this by mistake. I should have been looking, but I didn't. I want to leave it in because it just kind of adds a bit of interest to it. You know, I'm not being too of a stickler for accuracy. I want to have my own aircraft with its own look. You know what I mean? It's not a big deal, but it doesn't mean, like, I just need to be aware of that for next time. I also snapped off the rear taxi wheel on the rear of the aircraft, but luckily it's, I mentioned in the last video, there's actually a replacement, where is it, in the set. I'm just going to, I'm going to drill out the hole because part of it's still stuck in there. I'm going to reapply it. You just bear with me for a second, folks. Here is my little spare bits of all the other assemblies I need to paint. So here are the bombs. I think these are 500 pounders. So they'll be sitting in here. And I have two of those. And here are these sexy little drop tanks. But they're like the ones you see often under the beauty of having cats. I'm getting hair everywhere. Like, it's actually getting mixed into my paint, and it's really going to piss me off, but my mum's like a crazy cat lady. So, Adele says in here, that's where these holes are drilled, one either side. Can't wait to put them on actually, because they'll add a little bit of interest. There is massive ones included actually. Hang on, I'll show you these. I don't like them. Actually, there's huge drop tanks. I think they're probably 500 gallon jobs. Or maybe 1,000 gallon. I'm not going to add them in. They're just too big. They're too much of an eyesore. I like the ME110 because of its sleek meanness. And me and Carlos were talking about adding the yellow, well it's a part of the colour scheme anyway, but the yellow accents on the lower cowlings and rudders. And like, for me, like we're doing a BF 109, so I have Verifix's BF 109 in 48 scale. I can't wait, I'll probably be working on that. I think the order of march for my next couple of projects will be this, finish that, finish my Typhoon, finish the base for the Tiger, get that done, finish my Striker ESV, which has been sitting in my stash now for a while. Anyone from ISM will know that's my first build I did on an international scale modeler. It's just waiting for painting. I just haven't really felt the urge to work on it yet, which is, if anything you feel that way, just put it away and come back to it when you get a slight inspiration. So I'm going to probably just prime it anyway and see does it rekindle my desire to complete it, because I do like the Strikers. And then I'm going to probably work on my ME. So I have no Swazies for this aircraft, and I'm considering to add them because, like, you know, it is a German aircraft, and like I don't really care for the politics behind it. Should you have them or not, I don't care. They had the real aircraft had them, so there you go. Like, we're model makers after all, are we not? I mean, I can understand it's not everyone's taste, but you know what I mean. People will only take offence to it unless you're looking to take offence. Anywho, little rant of this. I'm thinking too, maybe next time I'm in town, picking up their Semi-2 scale ground crew set from Raval. They are really lovely, and that might just add a sense of scale for this aircraft. So we are nearly there. We are nearly. I'm very happy. I just saw a little bit touch up on the yellow to do as well. I had a bit of bleed coming up here. So as you can see, this paint scheme stands out. But you can see there the yellow is really dark. It almost looks like a grapefruit style like interior, and I don't want that. I have a bit of bleed in there too, so I need to. Okay, so I do a little bit touch ups, and then I'm gonna do a bit of panel fading, just a little bit here and there, and then then once that's done, it's going to be sealed in satin. Yeah, I have a little bit of touching up here and there to do. It's going to be sealed in satin, and then we're going to put the decals, and it's quite an extensive decal sheet for this. I'll show you the instructions in it. So I always put because of the humidity and the dampness in the shed, I always ziplock my decal sheets, and they're in the bottom shelf in this little unit here. So like, as you can see, I have to move a lot of shit to get at it. But I'm going to show you here from like the decal call out. So like, here is the stenciling and data call out. So it's quite a bit, and then the actual unit markouts. Where's the aircraft I'm having? Yeah. So you know, your standard kind of, not too much on the actual like tactical units. I'm looking forward to doing this actually. Normally, like, I actually think like it's all the stenciling and the unit markings and whatnot that actually make aircraft modelling such a kind of visually pleasing thing, because in armour we don't have a lot of markings on vehicles. Generally we don't, because a lot of time, because of the dark colour of armour, you don't often see them. But with this should all pop quite nicely, so I'm looking forward to doing all the stenciling. It'll take a while. I was also talking to Carlos about either getting the BF 109 Raval 32 scale, or maybe trying a large scale fighter, as in jet fighter. I don't know yet. I kind of want to try a cool aircraft. Like, you know, I'm actually really enjoying aircraft. I think I like the sleekness of aircraft, and like the airbrush really does help bring out that, you know. I used to do a little bit of airplanes with brushing, and I always found brush paint very difficult to get that sleekness. Like there's like basic Rob, who's basic modelling, who's anything but basic, very talented model maker. He does everything by brush, and like, he's probably the best brush painter I know on YouTube. I mean, he does phenomenal work on aircrafts. So he would be, so he's, I think it's called, I think he's changed his name. It's Basic Modelling or Rob Basic Modelling. I really suggest you give him you search him. So either Basic Modeling or Rob Basic Modeling, I believe, is his new channel. Very, very talented model maker. So, and like I don't have that type of patience he does to brush paint. I get daunted by painting smooth surfaces with a brush. But here we go. I got fucking dust and everything on this thing. It's annoying me a little bit actually, the amount of shite that's on it. But at least it's not the underside. So I'm gonna sign off now. I just wanted to show you where we were at, and just explain kind of what I did and what I intend to do. So here's the. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause, refocus, and resettle my white balance so you can have a proper look. So I'll be back. Okay, so we're back. So I just changed my exposure, so just to more accurately denote the colour of the aircraft. So this is what it looks like. I'm pretty happy with it. There's a few little touch-ups I have to do here and there. Hopefully you can see the post shading on the wings, or the pre-shading on the wings. It's a little bit rough. It's my first time trying this with an airbrush, and I'm still getting used to controlling my airbrush. I still have to come back and do a few little touch-ups here and there with the colour, but I'm pretty happy with it. You know, I enjoyed it. It's a bit challenging at times. Here's the yellow markings. They're a little bit too dark, so I'm actually going to come back with flat yellow, I think, and pick it out. It's also because this colour is so bright. I hope it doesn't wash it out, but not a big thing. I'll do that last. I think I'll do a bit of clean up here and there. So I did quite a bit last night to it. Again, I had a bit of colour bleed just underneath the cockpit where the yellow or the blue came up. But again, nothing too big. We can sort that easily. Then I'll do some panel fades. I know there are some gaps in the wing roots and all that, but I just don't have the pulley to seal it, and I would have lost a lot of detail if I did. At the end, like I can see it's quite actually. I'm actually a little bit annoyed that I didn't fill it now, but this model is more designed to practice my airbrushing skills. I probably will go back one of the days and rebuild one of these models and go all out on it. But I had to do a little bit more coat on the canopy. But yeah, it's a really nice looking airplane. The B, and I have a bit of bleed there as well that I need to sort out. But you know, it's only small little jobs. I'll probably get it done this evening. So I hope you like it. Yeah, like I'm really enjoying this, so I think I'm going to be making some more aircraft in the future. I kind of want to try some has anyone built any of the aircraft from kinetic models? Because I was looking at some of their carrier-based aircraft, or modern stuff. But I think it's all modern aircraft they have, but they're US modern carrier-based aircraft, like their Hawkeye and stuff like that. Has anyone built any of their aircraft? So like any opinions on their models would be nice, just to know should I stay clear, or are they a good company to try. So any advice there would be most kindly taken. So yeah, I had to go back and redo the yellow accents on the rudders and cowlings, because it's just too dark. You know what I mean? Like I know it stands out, but I feel that it should be a little bit brighter. So that'll be the next thing I'll do, because I want it to be really bright. Honestly, like, it's just because, as you can see there in the box there, I don't know how well you can see that. So we'll see. I need to figure out, is this colour, I'll actually do, what I'll do off cameras, I'll get a piece of plastic card or a piece of cardboard and actually paint the insignia yellow and the flat yellow to see, do they denote much, just in case I might have to lighten this colour a little bit, or switch to a lighter yellow. So anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you like it. I'm going to sign off now. Cheers lads, and I'll catch you in the next one. So watch out for those buses, and I'll see you all soon. Thank you. Bye. Hi y'all. back again, just to wrap up this video. I've been working on this quite a bit for the last couple of evenings. I don't know if you can tell, but you should notice the aircraft is a bit more muted. If you compare it to the last video, it was quite overly yellow, so I'm after mixing a little bit of white into the insignia yellow and did a bit of panel fading. You know, yeah, I spilled a bit of fucking thinner on it, so I'm gonna have to go in and do a bit of touch-ups. Not a big deal. I'll do that after this video. So what did I do? So I've been doing touch-up work just where painted bled in, so like where the underside blue bled into the yellow, touched all that up. Then I mixed a bit of white into the Humbrol insignia yellow, so mixed them together, no problems. And then just worked on the centre of the lines. I don't know how well you can see it. It kind of comes out a bit of a mottled effect, which is probably what the aircraft would actually look like. You know, they'd be pretty, because of the sun and the sun bleaching of being in that type of aerial operations, the colour would be different on each panel. You know what I mean? So there wouldn't be a consistent colour really running through them. So this actually could well be what the real aircraft look like. I'm going to say that is. So I worked my way along the panel lines, focusing on like the top of the nacelles and what have you. I had a little bit of a mishap with cleaning my airbrush. I have a few little watermarks where a bit of thinner popped out onto it. But I'm just going to get that. I'm going to let that dry fully, and I'm going to go back and respray it. Again, nothing to worry about. I'm not sure how well the camera is going to show it up, but it is there. We're about 75% the way there now for the painting. I'm not sure if I want to spray colour fade the underside. I probably should, but I'm not going to do it now because I want to let this dry, and I've been spraying like mad and I've been guzzling through my cleaner. I'm going to order some more the next day, and I've also decided to order a big scale fighter, jet fighter, which is for an armour modeler, they're like the holy grail because of all the fine lines. And so it's going to be not a contemporary aircraft, it's going to be one from Vietnam. I can let you guess. You can put comments in the comment section if you want to guess what aircraft it's going to be. It may or may not have featured in Andy's aircraft museum walkthrough. Hint, hint. It's going to be a monster, but more on that later. So this is nearly there now, just a little bit more work to do. Once it's done, it's going to be satin coated, then satin coated, deckled, satin coated again, given a wash, probably going to be given a filter as well, just to blend everything in. And then this is going to be sprayed on the undersides and into the wheel wells and whatnot. This is AK Dust Effects. And then we're done. We are done, and it's the two radio antennas. I haven't glued the aerial in, and then because I broke the communications array, the little loop, I have made a new one out of spare summer, out of wire, and that'll be installed at the very end and sprayed then. So we're nearly there. Also mounted the landing gear struts on cocktail sticks ready for spraying. So that's where I'm at with this. A little bit touch-ups here and there to do yet. It's still all new to me. There's a lot of mistakes I made in this, like, you know, I have a seam running down the fuselage halves, I have a few gaps, but this is more about the painting. But when I get the bigger scale stuff, it's all going to be done properly because I'm going to buy all the standing sticks I need and scribers and stuff like that. So, you know what I mean, so don't be expecting miracles with this build. This is more just to see how I like painting aircraft, and I must admit I love it. So, I'm going to let you all go. My back just gave out. Oh jeez, that hurt. So right lads, I'll catch y'all later before I keel over. Stay safe, watch out for those buses, and happy modelling. Bye bye.